all nations have a drum, the heartbeat of Mother Earth. Before you were born, you heard your mother's drum, her heartbeat. And if we listen carefully, and we listen to our river valley, we can hear it, a heartbeat. And in our dreams, she shows us her poetry, and she connects us with the Creator, with our spirit and Manto. And Manto is the spirit and the energy of the great mystery.
We are here to share with you a collective vision, connecting our river and the people to the sacredness and power of this place we call home. From our river valley rises the spirit of Edmonton, a divine essence that is within the heart of Edmonton and its people.
In Cree, the word kanata means a sacred and pure place. It's a verb. It gives us the direction to consistently work towards maintaining relationships and maintaining harmony in our communities and with ourselves and with the environment and with our spirit world. Our Pehonan, which is known as Rossdale Flats, was a gathering place. It was known as a waiting place where Indigenous people gathered for between 8,000 and 10,000 years ago. It carries within it that spirit and that connection to our river valley. It is a part of who we are.
This place embraces the many nations and asks for our stories to be shared. Let us take you on a journey that reconnects us to the Manto in this place and the spirit of Edmonton. This is the story, a vision of the future. Our waiting place is a convergence of many trails. In the future, we see two trails, one by water and one by land, both of which tell us the stories at intervals of histories and cultures here. The trail will connect us to eight projects, from Fort Edmonton Park to the Sacred Fire at the Shaw Conference Centre.
At the beginning of our trail, we find ourselves at Fort Edmonton Park, the Indigenous people's experience, capturing the spirit of Pehonan, the waiting place, that tells the story and recreates living and a living experience of Indigenous people before the forts came. It would also be a pavilion where we would be fed food, sound, and art, and stories of Genesis that will connect us all together. It is a special place that draws from it the origins of Edmonton, but also the friendship of the relationships we have developed.
As our journey continues, we come upon Kichiaski, or Sacred Earth. It will provide a place where Aboriginal cultures can practice ceremonies and prayers, a place where youth and families can access cultural resources, and a place where Edmontonians can learn about the spiritual traditions of Aboriginal peoples. A place of healing and rejuvenation, a place of medicine, plants, and herbs. It will provide a place of learning and sharing, the essence and spirit of Indigenous life.
And as we move further down the river towards our Pehonan, we come across this center. It's called the Indigenous Center for Art and Knowledge. This will be a memorial, a testament to ancient wisdom and knowledge. It'll be exactly in the location of our Pehonan. It will tell the story of Indigenous knowledge and wisdom, and connecting us back to the exact location within the heart of the city in our Pehonan in Rossdale Flats that connects us to our history once again and brings forward an Indigenous voice and presence within the river valley.
As we turn from the Indigenous Center and look to the east, we immediately see the first monument to an Indigenous woman in Canada, the Louise Umphreysville Governance Fountain. Called the First Lady of the Fort and the Mother of Edmonton, Louise is an icon of the strength and beauty of Indigenous women who assisted in building our city and nation.
In Aboriginal ceremonial traditions, it's always important to have a male and a female or man-woman energy. When we see these two bridges in the center of our city by our Pehonan, we want to recognize that both those symbols are there to represent that balance. We project that the first bridge, the high-level bridge, we propose to be named after Chief Factor John Rowand, the partner of Louise Umfreville. And this bridge to be named after Louise Umfreville, his partner. Together, they represent the recognition of the power of men and women in our city.
As we walk across the Pehonan, Rossdale Flats, we come upon Sun and Moon Visionaries, located at the Donald Ross School. Sun and Moon is an art gallery for self-expression and exploration for Aboriginal youth, and a sacred space to receive ancestral teachings in the creation of art.
And at the end of our trail, when we gather at the Shaw Conference Center, there will be a sacred space there, a sacred fire, a place where Indigenous visitors who come here to meet and to gather, and also our friends and our relatives from the city as well, can gather and give thanks through fire and offerings for what we've learned and what we've shared together. And we must remember that even in our city's name, Monto has always been there. Monto, the spirit of creation, the spirit of the Creator.
Edmonton is full of spirit throughout all our communities and has been since and before our city was born. Edmonton, the city of spirit.